Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. I think you are able to hear me because of this. This indicator shows that your the mic is working. Okay. If you have earphone, you can put it into the computer if you want. You don't have, but you can hear my voice from your side. Okay. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As I said, guys, today, inshallah, we'll start a new series of the AutoCAD lectures, which is how to draw, how to make a 3D drawing or 3D model of your object. Okay. Usually, if you remember the class of Sunday, I taught you on Sunday, if I give you two orthographic views, how to find the missing one, and then after finding the missing one, how to combine the three views to come up with the 3D object. So today, inshallah, we'll implement that object. So directly you get into the AutoCAD, and then you start drawing your 3D model. As you can see, guys, most of the panels here are just suitable for two-dimensional drawing. Yani, for example, here you'll be able to draw a line or polyline or a circle or arc. All of this are just in XY plane. Okay, but from now on, we'll not draw in the XY plane. We'll draw in XYZ space. Okay, how can we do this? First of all, you go to that icon down there. But Sam, can you see the whatever pops up? Can you see it clearly? Okay. So you go to this little icon there, guys. If you remember at the second week, I showed you that this is related to the workspace. So if you click on that arrowhead down there, guys, this is our default workspace for the two-dimensional drawing. And there are two other workspaces for the 3D drawing. One of them is called the 3D Basics, and the other one is called the 3D Modeling. It doesn't matter if you start with this one or that one, but I always prefer to start with the 3D Basics. And if you remember, guys, I created my own workspace and gave it my name. This menu is not showing, although I shared the screen itself. See, I'm sharing the screen, not the application. Let me be sure that whatever I'm sharing is the screen. Yeah, if I'm sharing the screen, you have to see everything. This is what I'm saying. Okay, let me stop sharing this one and then get back to the application window. Okay. Anyway, let me proceed. And in case while you are listening, watching the video, in case you cannot see something like this, you can at least try on your AutoCAD, your own version at your machine. Okay. So as I said, guys, to prepare. Okay, I see. I forgot. Yeah, the recording is there, but I forgot to make the share. Share application, share window. Because I minimized that one. I see. Now I can share the AutoCAD. Can you see? Can you see the AutoCAD from your side? No. Okay. Share application. Now you can see it, right? Okay. Okay, so again, guys, I said you will have to go. Of course, after you name your file, remember all the routine steps. You name your file and you locate it in your folder, and you give some limits based on the dimension that you will deal with, and then finally you go and choose that 3D Basics. Before I click on the 3D Basics, guys, please look carefully at these icons and see how these icons will change completely once I click on the 3D Basics. 3D Basics. As you can see, guys, all the icons there, which was actually suitable for two-dimensional, they are no longer there, and whatever is available is just for 3D drawing. Okay. Not only this, guys, I have also to prepare the workspace itself, because these are the panels for the commands. I also need to prepare the workspace itself to be ready for the 3D drawing. How can we do this? If you look carefully, guys, at that box, this box tells you from where you are exactly looking at your object. Yani, for example, I am assuming that my object is a cube, And now at that moment, I'm just looking at the top of that cube. It's as if you are seeing the projection of that cube on the disk. But if you need to look at the tube and see it as a 3D object, the only way to do is to change the location from which you are looking at your object. Okay. Usually, guys, our default location is southwest SW. Remember this one. Okay. When you click on that corner, you can see, guys, that now you will not be able to see the XY just as XY. No, you see everything now. So this is X direction, and this is Y direction, and this is the direction. Okay, guys. What if I decided to look from other side? Yani if I go to this if I click on that opposite vertex or that opposite corner, you can see that you are changing the direction of the or you are rotating your XYZ coordinate system, and you keep going like this. If you need to try, here you go, and you keep going like this until you reach to the very first preferred location from which we should look at our object. Okay, just I'm gonna do something very quick to ask you some question, and then I will proceed in the get back again to the 3D drawing teaching explanation. Okay, okay. Now, guys, if I told you that this is the 3D object, okay, and I'm asking you to tell me if I am looking for the front view of that object, this means that I have to look at which plane, XZ plane, or ZY plane, or XY plane. If I'm asking you to give me the front view of that object, assuming that that box is the object itself, so which plane I have to project that view in? Is it XZ plane, or ZY plane, or XY plane? What? ZX, exactly. And this is exactly what we used to do. So now, if I'm asking you to tell me how the top view will look like, then you will go and look at which plane, guys? YX or XY, right? Okay, now for the left side view, you look at ZY or ZY plane. Clear, guys? Okay, so this is, I just need you to get acquainted with how these directions are related to the three views that we dealt with before. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to, please come and close the door. Close the door, please. Okay, now, guys, I'm gonna start by just picking up each simple command here, and I will show you how to draw that thing. Before I start, guys, out of your engineering sense or your mechanical drawing sense, how many questions once I ask the program to draw that box? I am expecting that the AutoCAD will ask me how many questions? 2 or 3? Okay, what are the 3 questions? The what? Length, width, height, right? Or maybe the program will ask me exactly what you can see in that picture. Look at the picture, guys. Can you see the picture, Bassam? Okay. See, in the picture, it seems like that the AutoCAD is asking you to locate the location of the point 1, right? And then you move and locate the location of the point 2. Look carefully, guys. Where is 1 and 2? They are in the same XY plane, right? So this means that when you locate the location of the point 1, then you have to put it in terms of X, Y, Z. And usually Z, in that case, if you are speaking about the XY plane, our Z is always what? 0, right? Again, if you are putting the coordinate system for the 2 or the point 2 in that picture, this means that your Z also is 0, right? And the only 2 coordinate system that will have values will be X and Y. But look carefully at the third point. Third point is what, guys? Third point should have a Z value. It cannot be a 0. Okay? Okay? So now let's try. I'm going to click on box, or you can simply write down, if you remember from 2-dimensional. If you are not able to find that command, you can easily write down the name of the command in the command line. And again, guys, please remember that once you click on the command, or once you click on anything to be done, you have to rush to the command line and keep looking at the command line, because this is the main communication way between you as end user and the program as AutoCAD. Clear? So what is the first question now, guys? Look carefully. He's asking you to specify first corner, which was point number 1 in that example, right? Usually we prefer to start from the origin, which is 0, 0, And if you put the third 0, that's fine. But if I did not put it, usually the program by default will consider the third point as a 0. Okay, so let's try both. I'm gonna put 0 0 0. Here you go, guys. You see, I started from the a from the origin. What if I decided to just write down just 0 and 0? What will happen? Nothing will happen, because the program by default will add another 0 from 0 comma 0. I'm sorry, the numlock is not working. Okay, here is the second 0, and that's it. Exactly, we started from the exact point, which means that voluntarily the AutoCAD puts the third one as a 0. Now let's assume, guys, listen carefully, that the length along the x direction is 7, and the length along the y direction, length along x direction means what? Width, right? And then the length along the y direction means what? Depth, right? And the length along z direction means what? Height, right? So let's assume that the length of that one in the x direction is 7. Please write it down. I need somebody to help me out. The length in the x direction is 7, and the length along the y direction is 3, while the height is 5. Okay? Now, based on these three numbers, guys, if the program is asking you to locate the location of the second point, which is point number 2, what should I write down there in the command line? I should write 7 and 3 and 0. Okay, the question is, can I swap? I mean, can I say start by 3 and then 7 and then 0? I cannot do this. Why? Because the width will become depth, and the depth will become length. Somebody might tell me, so what is the problem? I will end up by having the same cube. Yes, you will end up by having the same cube, but the problem is the location of the front view will be different. You got it? Whatever you see in the front view with the first case, when you start with 7, will be exactly what we will see in the left side view. So whenever I give you some numbers, you have to stick to the order, guys. Don't change the order based on your mind, okay? Or based on your mood, okay? You don't like big numbers, you like small numbers, so you start with, no, it does not work this way, okay? So anyway, I have to put 7, okay? So let me write down 7, and then comma 3. I have, see, guys, whatever I wrote down here, actually it should be in this box, but I need to eliminate that box. Remember, sometimes this box give us our time. How can I eliminate the dynamic of input? Somebody remind me, we did this a lot in the 2-dimensional. This is the dynamic F12. Yes, sir, thank you so much. F12, and now you are free to go and locate the opposite corner. So what should I do? I said 7 comma 3, and that's it. Okay, then the program will understand that that the third one is 0. Now I'm just making zoom in and zoom out just to come up with the best location. Now, guys, I'm ready to put the third option. If you look carefully, guys, he's not asking you to put it as in terms of x and y and z. So you have to look carefully at the question. He's asking you just to put it as height. Okay, so if I put it as height, see, once you move your mouse up there, the program will understand that this height will be, this box will be on the top of the XY plane. Okay, whatever you write down, the program will understand that this will be located on the top of the XY plane. But if I'm moving my mouse up there, or sorry, if I'm moving my mouse down there, and then I decided to go and write down the height, then the program will understand what? Will understand that your box is under the ground. You got that point? Okay, so let me show you exactly what will happen here. If I said 4, for example, okay, see, sometimes it works this way. If you are moving your mouse down there, then the program will understand that whatever you put in is the height, but this height is under the ground. What if I decided to make it under the ground? Yeah, let's assume that I put 4, but my intention is to make that box below the XY, not on the top of the XY. Very simple. I can go and make right click. Okay. I can go for the properties, guys. And then from the properties, you can see the height here is what? Where is the height, guys? Here you go. This height is how much? 4. If you put it negative 4, then you end up by a by changing the direction of that height. You got it, guys? But actually, after I put negative 4, did you see what happened? The proverse, the program make it 4. Actually, this is true. Why? Because when you are speaking about the height, you are speaking about something physical. When you say something physical, when you say your height, it means that you can see it, you can touch it with your hand. So it cannot be a negative. You got my point, guys? So the program by default will make it 4. But now this 4 is different than the other 4. What if I decided to go and make another, change it again, make it negative a negative 4? You got the point? So the negative means you are giving the order to the command, to the AutoCAD, just to change the direction. But it will end up by a positive value. Clear, guys? And if you play it with the X and the Y and Z location, يعني هنا for example the position X, this is the position A, Y, and this is the position Z. If you played with any of these numbers, this means that you are moving your box here and there. You got my point, guys? يعني if you are changing this X and Y and you kept the Z as it is, what will happen? The box will still sticking to the XY plane, but it will move here and there. You got it? But if you change your Z value, this means that you are raising up your box out of the ground. Is it clear, guys? Okay, so let's try it this way. I'm gonna make Z any number, let's say 2. Did you see what happened, guys? So if I need to return it back, simply just put a 0. Here you go. You got it? Okay. Now let's go to the next command in that list, cylinder. Before I start, guys, as usual, how many questions I'm expecting from the AutoCAD to be answered? If he's asking you to draw a cylinder, 3, right? Okay. Usually the first question by default, it should be what? Center. Usually, remember, guys, when we were dealing with with the two-dimensional drawing, remember this geometric construction? Our main business is to locate the centers and then draw the circle. So usually the first question to be asked is the location of the center. So if I click on the cylindrical shape, and then I can locate if you click anywhere, guys, if you click here anywhere in that screen, the program is sticking any point you click on, the program will consider it as the Z is equal to 0. Don't think that if you are clicking somewhere, if you are away from the box, I'm not speaking about the box, guys, okay? If I'm picking up any points here or there, by default, the program will consider this one as X has a value, Y has a value, but Z is 0, right? What if I decided to draw that cylinder, but not sticking to the ground? It's elevated from the ground. What should I do? Then in this case, you have to put X, Y, Z, and when it comes to Z, you have to put it as a number. Don't put it 0. Clear, guys? Okay, let's try this one. As I told you, if you click anywhere, then by default the program will consider this point as the Z is 0. Okay, but your X and Y is wherever you click. Okay. Now, guys, what is the second question? What is the second? Look at the command line. I'm asking you to just read whatever in the command line. The second question is what? Radius of the base. You can easily just put the radius by just putting a number here, or you can easily make your estimation by moving the mouse here and there and say it's okay, this is my radius. The third and last question is what? The height. Okay, so how much is the height of that cylindrical shape based on your decision? This, by the way, guys, this was the height of the box, so he takes that number as a default number, but you can change it, of course. Okay, if you put any number, let's say, guys, this time I'm gonna put a -3. You see, when I put -3, the program takes the cylinder and put it under the ground. You got it? Okay. Now, if I decided to draw, guys, the same shape, okay, let's go with the third one, cone. How many questions are expected, guys, when you draw the cone? Let me check. But Sam, the recording is still running? The mic is okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, cone, you said 3. Okay, but here is the surprise. Actually, this can be more than 3. How can we do this? Let's try, guys. Cone, what is the first question as usual? Is to locate the center. This time, guys, instead of putting the center here or there randomly, I decided to put it on the top of that box. How can we do this? Very simple, guys. If you recall, usually we used to do what's called object snap in the two-dimensional. Here in this case, we have two kinds of object snap. There is an object snap down there, guys, which is that icon. You see this icon? This is for two-dimensional. And there is another cube for the object snap of the 3D objects. How can I call this one? Remember, guys, if you don't see that command or that whatever you are looking for, the icon that you are looking for here in that list, you have to go where? You have to go to this list, customization, okay? And then you click on that one, and then you look for 3D object snap. Here you go, guys. See, it's not selected. This is why it's not there in the list. Once you click on it, here you go, guys. You see, this box shows up once I click on that one. Just to be sure, if I take it away, the box disappeared. Okay. So again, 3D object snap. Your box is there, but it's not active. How did I know that if it's active or not active, guys? Simply look at the color. What is the color of that one? Gray, okay, or white. So I can just simply click on it, then it's ready to go. Look at the whatever you see, guys, in the two-dimensional object snap. Of course, will be completely different in the list of the 3D object. Of course, you are familiar with that list. We use it a lot, right? But now let's go to the 3D object and see what will be there. 3D object snap, vertex. What do I mean by vertex, guys? Vertex means the corners like this, or the end of the cone. This is called the vertex, okay? Midpoint. Usually we said midpoint and that's it. No. Now there is two midpoints. There is midpoint for the edge, and there is also midpoint for the face or the surface. You got it? So as you can see, all these lists are just related to something 3D. You got it, guys? Okay. One of the most important things that you need to activate is the center of the face. Okay. Yani for example, if I told you where is the center of that face, you will tell me it is the center of this cross section circle, right? What is the center of that face, guys? Somebody will tell me, okay, I'm gonna draw a line from this corner to the opposite corner and take the midpoint in between, right? Which is the center of the face, or the intersection of the two chords, right? تقاطع الأوتار بتاع الشكل. تمام كده؟ خلاص. Okay. I'm gonna go with this one, center of the face, and also vertex. And for the two-dimensional, I'm gonna activate the quadrant. Maybe later I'm gonna use it, and also the I can also choose okay, center of the circle and center of the geometry. No problem. Okay, now let's get back to our business, which is drawing a cone. Remember, guys, the reason that I take you to the object snap, because I decided this time to put the cone on the top of the box, right? So if the program asks you to locate the center, then I decided to make this one exactly at the mid location of that face. Then I have to go with which choice, guys, out of these choices? Center of the face. You got it? Did you see this little blue circle, guys? Maybe the colors are close, but still I can see it. If you look at your monitor, you can see it's not there, guys. It's not in your monitor. Okay. No, I prefer anyway. You trust me, okay? There is a very little circle here. This circle is blue, and this one is blue, but the color there is difference in the color level, okay? So anyway, this is the center of the surface, and now be ready to answer the second question, which is what? The radius of the base of the cone. Okay, I can put it as numbers. Let's say 0.5 or 0.7. Okay, and now it's time to answer the third question. Remember, guys, that I told you that this could be more than 3 questions. How can I make them 3 questions? Maybe you decided not to make a full cone. Yani instead of having that vertex at the top, you just have a small circle. You start with a big circle and then you end up with a small circle. So in that case, instead of answering that last question, you have to go and tell him click on that one. You are orienting directing the program to ask you another question, which is the top radius. If you click on the top radius, then you have to be ready and answer that question. Let's say our top radius is 0.2, for example. Okay. And now, guys, you see the difference between the case before. Usually that one was just a vertex, a point. But now it's no longer a point because you decided to make it as a circle. And now it's time to answer the last question, very last question, which is the height. Okay. I can put any number, or I can just simply pick up any point. just guys to be sure, because sometimes this, because of the 3D objects, it's tricky. يعني sometimes يعني if I show that bin, okay, and there is another bin somewhere at the back. If you are very far from my location, you might think that these two bins are intersecting, but actually they are not intersecting. There is ايه, they are skew, شماليين، بنقول عليهم شماليين، تمام كده. Same story can happen here in that ايه, in that AutoCAD. So the only way to be sure that everything is in its location, the way I see it, is by just making rotation to that shape. How can I make rotation for that shape, guys? In that list, okay, this list is called the what? Is called the navigation list. Okay, in that list we just use the ban from the for the whole last weeks. Okay, but from now on we will use also another these other icons. One of them is the orbit. Okay, you have three different orbits. We have what's called the regular orbit, and we have free orbit, and we have continuous orbit. What is the difference between the three? Let's try. This is the default one, which is the orbit. Okay. Okay. Once you click on the orbit, guys, and then you move your mouse, this means that you are controlling the location from which you are looking at your objects. So now I'm very sure that my cone is completely located on the top of the box. You got it? Let's try the second orbit, which is a free orbit. Okay, in the free orbit, you see you are just moving in a certain space. Okay, the third one, which is continuous orbit, this one usually is used in the presentations. يعني let's assume that you did your best, and you created a very complicated 3D object, and then you are standing somewhere in like in gathering, and you need to show the people your work. It does not make sense that you will hold the mouse all the time and show them this side and that side. No, what you're gonna do is just to click on that continuous orbit and just give it a push. Okay, and it will automatically move in the direction, and based on how fast is that push, it will be also the speed. You see, the speed is very slow, because the push I give it to this one was not that big. Okay, let's try another push. See, guys, you see the difference between the two speeds. So it is based on how fast when you push your mouse. Okay, if I need to stop it, that's it. Maybe I need to move in another direction. Here you go. Maybe I need to move in this direction. Again, it's based on the of course, you out of your experience, you will decide which speed is better for the people to look carefully at the details of my object. Clear, guys? So this is called the continuous orbit. So let me say, guys, that I'm done with my business, and I need to get out of this object. Then I have to take everything to the you see, guys, there is a little icon there which looks like a country house. عارف البيوت بتاعت الانجليز كده، اللي هي بتبقى السقف بتاعها مايل، تمام. So if you click on that one, it will take you to the home location. What is the home location? Remember, guys, what is the home location? It is exactly southwest direction. Clear, guys, or not clear? Okay, now let's get back to and finalize this list. Sphere. How can I create a sphere? Very simple. Before I start, how many questions they are expecting in the case of the sphere, guys? Are you sure? Two, not three, not four, not one? Eh? Radius and height. يا راجل يا طيب، في حاجه اسمها height لل center and radius. Yes, sir. So I can let's try this one. Maybe كاني عايز ارسم مثلا ده زي مسجد، وعايز اعمل قبه مثلا فوق العمود ده. فخلاص you can go there and just decide to locate your the center of your sphere in the center of that face, and then you go and pick up انت عايز تخلي ده القطر ده قد القطر ده بالظبط. فطبعا لو انا ما عنديش معلومه عن القطر الاولاني، I can simply go and make properties and take it, or the other way is to activate that object snap. Look at this diamond shape. You see, guys, there is a very little diamond shape Okay. Okay. So now it's working, right? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, man. Okay. So I am gonna make undo. Just take you back to the to the moment where these two pieces were separate. Now, as I said, guys, let's assume that I need to make these two pieces as just one set. What we need to do is just to go to the edit list, and out of the edit list, you choose a union. And then, as usual, the program will ask you to select the object to be unified. Okay. So you take this one. And remember, guys, how can I show this selection cycling? Remember, sometimes if you have two or three lines on the top of each other before, and you need to delete one of them, there is something called selection cycling. What is the selection cycling, guys? You see, when I come closer, this little two squares on the top of each other. How can I bring this one to the screen if it's not there? Somebody can remind me. I told you guys you have to take notes. I'm going to answer that question again. But anyway, this is for the last time. The only way to let this selection cycling shows up is by going to the command line and just write down this letter DS. And then the very first command in the list, which is desetting, will pop up. You click on that desetting, okay? Whatever you see here, it might be different from a student to another. But what we need to do is just keep clicking on that arrowhead until you reach the very last selection, which is selection selecting cycling, okay? You click on that selecting cycling. If it's not there, yani maybe when you open, you see something different like this, or you see that one. I'm not caring whatever you are seeing right now. I'm just caring about that you have to go all the way until you can see that selecting cycling, and then be sure that these two boxes are selected. You get it? Okay. Once these two boxes are selected, they just say okay, and then by default, you see, guys, this icon will show up if there are more than one object in the same location. Anyway, now I'm gonna get back to our original business, which is how to find how to make unifying between the objects. I'm gonna unify this one with that one, and unify this one with that one. Okay. So let's try it, guys. You go to union, you select the first object, you select the second object, right click, that's it. Okay. Again, union again. You select the cone up there, you select the box down there, and that's it. How did I know that they become one piece? Here you go. You see? Once you come closer to any of them, it will highlight everything. Once you come closer to any of this, it will highlight everything. Clear, guys? Okay. Now, what is next is to draw a pyramid. Okay. I'm not gonna go through in details, guys, because sometimes this application is not yani we are not using this kind of commands. Maybe the several people can use this one. But anyway, how many questions are expected to draw a pyramid? At least they could be three, because it's similar to the cone. Remember, because maybe you don't need your pyramid to have that vertex. Maybe you need to have it a little square up there. You got it? So you start by locating the center, and then drawing the base, and then drawing the height. This is the usual way. If you decide to go and change the vertex and make it something else, you have to direct the program to ask you for the circle, which inscribed. Remember, guys, circumscribed and inscribed that we used before in the polygon. So it's same story. You are not putting the dimension for the square. No, you are just selecting the radius of the circle, which is inscribing the square or circumscribing the square. So you have to review that one. Anyway, this is the most important one in that list, guys, for us. Really? Yes. What is that one, guys? Wedge is very similar to what? Wedge. Very similar to what? No. The wedge, guys. This one. This one is very similar to what? We can find it everywhere. Web. Yes. Remember, guys, the web and the rule of the web. When you cut the web with a plane parallel, you leave it without hatching. And when you cut the web with a perpendicular plane, you have to show the hatching. Remember the web, guys? Okay, so the wedge is the web. But be careful, guys, when you draw any wedge. I'm going to let this one be there for a while. And the program will tell you the story of that wedge. If you need to draw any wedge, you can see from that example, the program will ask me about location of 3 points. Point number 1, point number 2, which are usually represent the base of the web, and then the point number 3 to put the height. But look carefully at the statement written there. It tells you what, guys? It tells you that the direction. Look, read whatever there in the board. It says what? The direction of the taper. This is the tapering, guys. Okay, the direction of the taper is always in the position X direction of UCS. Yani if I decided to draw my web or my wedge, okay, where is my X, guys? X axis in this direction. So before I start, I know where exactly the tapering will take place. The tapering should take place in that direction. يعني imagine ان انا برسم الويب يا جماعه على السطح دهوت، تمام؟ يبقى انا متوقع ان التيبرنج هياخد الدايركشن ده. تمام كده؟ ليه؟ لان هو قال لي صراحه because he told me clearly that your tapering is in the X in X direction. Let's try it. Okay. We click on the wedge. As usual, the very first question to be asked is to locate the first corner. Okay, here you go. The second point is that point. And when you raise up in that direction. You see, guys, where is the tapering direction? As exactly the program said, it's in the X direction. What if I decided, okay, I'm not happy because this wedge should be on that surface or that face? Then there is another story that we have to do. But at least for now, I can show you how to change the direction. And if you need, instead of making the tapering in the X direction, I can make it in the Y direction or the Z direction. How can we do this? By just using the rotation order. Okay, you go to rotation, rotate. Okay, and as usual, the first question to be asked is to select the object and then right click and be ready to answer the second question, which is the base point. Remember, guys, that this rotation actually is only for 2-dimensional, but I can use it also for 3D. Once you pick up that location, you see, guys, see, it's like it's as if you are holding the wedge in your mouse and you move it wherever you like. If you move the numbers as positive numbers, guys, this means that the rotation will take place in the anti-clockwise direction, assuming that you are looking from the top Z direction. متخيل معايا المنظر عامل ازاي؟ Assume, guys, that you are standing that location and you are looking from the top. So the rotation anti-clockwise should be there, should be in this direction, right? Okay. So let's say, guys, that I need to rotate this one such that it will be oriented this way. I mean in the opposite of the Y direction, Y axis. How can I, what should I put there, guys? Should I put positive 90 or negative 90? Negative 90. Let's try. So I should put negative 90. Here you go, guys. Okay. What if I need to return it back? Then I have to again rotate and then pick up this one and pick up that one as my center of rotation and then make positive positive 90. Okay, just write down 90 and that's it. ماشي يا جماعه؟ طيب افرض ان انا, let's assume, guys, that I need to locate that side of that object such that it will be it will be on that surface of the of that object, or it will be on that side of the of that box. Okay, what can we do? Okay, just let me do something. I'm gonna use just regular orbiting. Okay, the manual one. Let's remove that one. And now, guys, my job now is to bring this one. You see, guys, I need to bring that side. Let me show you again. I need to bring that surface of the web such that it will be coincident with that surface of the box. How can we do this? There is a command called the align. Align, ALIGN, means, which is coming from the word alignment. Alignment اللي هي عندنا اللي هي معناها بتجيب حاجات قصاد قصاد بعض. تمام كده؟ So I'm gonna write down align, ALIGN. Okay, here you go, guys. Align, and then he's asking you to select objects. I'm gonna select that one, right click, and then specify first a. See guys, what first of all you select the object that you are intending to move. This is the first step. And then you select some 3 sources and 3 sinks, which means what? The source means the point on the first part to be moved. The sink is the location of that a on the fixed part. You get it? There is a fixed one and there is a one that you are intending to move. Whatever you pick up on the movable one, it will be called source points. Okay, and whatever you the corresponding points on the fixed one will be called the sinks. So we have 3 sources and 3 sinks. Guys, why 3 sources? Why it should be 3 sources? Yani if let's assume guys that this is the face of the box, okay, and this is the wedge. If you just say I need 2 sources and the 2 sinks, here is the situation. Here is what will happen. You may pick up this one as source and this one as sink, and you pick up this one as source and pick up this one as sink. Okay, how many possibilities here, guys? As long as you guarantee that no, not 2, infinity. See, if you are sticking this point to that point and that point that way and that's it, this means that this one could be oriented anywhere, as long as you are just controlling these 2 lines to be together, right? But to control that the whole surface to be exactly on the whole surface, I have to have 3 sources and 3 sinks. Clear or not clear, guys? So let's try it this way. Look carefully, guys. Specify first source a point. I'm gonna pick up that one. How can I pick up that one, guys? By going to the 3D object snap and activating the vertex. Remember, okay? So I'm gonna pick up that one, okay, as my first source. Look carefully at the second question. What is the second question? Specify first destination A. First destination point. Usually I'm intending to have this corner to be located there. وخد بالك يا جماعة، أول نقطة هي أهم نقطة. تمام؟ So I'm gonna locate this one there. Now بص هتلاحظ إن هو رسم خط، هو مفيش خط بس هو بيبين لك المسار اللي هيمشي فيه. خلاص؟ Now what is the second question? Specify the second source point. I'm intending to have this corner. You see that corner there, guys? To be located somewhere there. واحد هيقول لي طب ازاي؟ ده الطول ده this length is is shorter than that length. Let's see what will happen at the end, guys. Okay? So I'm gonna select this one at my source and this one as my the sink of the second source. Okay? And now finally I'm gonna pick up that one. You see that corner and put it there, or pick up the lower corner down there and put it there. You got my point? Okay, let's try this one. I'm gonna pick up this one as my third source and this is my third thing. Here you go, guys. يبقى اذا البرنامج التزم باول سورس عندك، صح؟ والا كان الاحتمال الثاني ان ياخد البتاع ده ويرفعه فوق، صح؟ يبقى هو اهم نقطه هي اول نقطه. واضح يا جماعه ولا مش واضح؟ طيب يبقى how did I know that I already located that one in the exact location? Very simple. Here is the key. Look carefully, guys. Everything is beautifully there. You got this one? And this is one of the most important things. Sometimes, guys, we find difficulty to draw the wedge in the location. So what we do is to draw the wedge outside of the object and then using the alignment to locate it in its original place. Clear or not clear? Not only this, guys, inshallah, after 2 weeks from now, after we become professional in drawing the 3D, we'll start a new topic which is called assembly. Assembly means what? Assembly, when you assemble, yes, تجميع. So let's assume that I give you 2 or 3 objects and I'm asking you, let's assume, guys, that these 2 objects, for example, is a shaft and the bearing. انت راجل ميكانيكي بقى، فانت هترسم, you'll draw the shaft by itself and the bearing by itself, and then using this alignment command to let the shaft get into the bearing. يبقى انت عندك الكابابيلتي دلوقتي انك توري الناس كمان مش انك بترسم، ده انت كمان تقدر تعمل اسمبلي. طبعا البرنامج اللي هو the most important one مش الاوتوكاد في موضوع الاسمبلي هو السوليد السوليد ورك، ودي مش شغلتي، دي شغله الراجل اللي هيدرس لك ماشين ديزاين 2. بس على الاقل I am showing you how to do it in a very simple way in the AutoCAD. ماشي يا جماعه؟ طيب how can I unify these two to become one piece? خلاص it's an old story. You go to union, pick up this one, pick up that one, لاحظ بقى ايه اللي تشينجز اللي حصل يا جماعه. خليه ارجع كده سنه صغيره. Before making union you can see that there is a barrier here. Okay, because this barrier tells you that these are two separate parts, but to make them one unit, to unify them, you have to go and say union and click on the first one, click on the second one. Okay, and then right click. Here you go guys, they become one piece. Somebody might tell me I changed my mind, I need to split them into two pieces. في امر بعد كده اسمه سلايس هنتكلم عليه بس مش وقته. سلايس تقطع يعني. تمام. Okay guys, so what else we have to do here? This is another command called torus. Torus, it's like a donut guys. عارف الدونت؟ تمام. You go to torus and then the very first question to be asked is the center point. Center point of what guys? Be careful, because the torus has two centers and has two radii. There is a center for the whole torus and the radius for the torus, and there is a center for the circle of the tube. You get it? And there is a radius. So usually when the program asks you to specify center point, it means the center of the whole torus. Okay, so let's try that torus. This is the first center, and now I'm ready to answer the second question, which is what is the second question guys? Look at the command line. The specify radius of the torus. Here you go. And the third question is what? Is to locate the radius of the cross section of the tube itself. Okay, so whenever you go move up or down, it increase or decrease the cross sectional area or the diameter of the circle. Okay, here you go. So here is my torus, and this is how it looks like. تمام كده. Not only this guys, but this business is not for us. You can also draw a 3D wall. يعني انا مثلا لو انا راجل بتاع سيفل ومثلا برسم مثلا let's assume that I'm drawing my own house or just doing some business for some people, then you start by drawing the whole details of the landscape, including the houses, including the workshops, including everything, and then the end of the story you make a wall around all of this. How can we make that wall? Remember guys, we have something called the polyline in the two-dimensional. From now on, if you are dealing with the three-dimensional, it's no longer called the polyline, it is called the polysolid. Okay, how this polysolid will look like, let's try. You click on that one, and then wherever you go guys, you see you are just drawing a walls. Okay, what if I decide to make that wall as a curve? No problem, you can go and click on arc, and wherever you go from now on, everything will look like an arc. Okay, and then like this. Okay guys, and you keep going until you finalize your business. You can just say close, then everything will be connected together. How did I know that this is a 3D? It's there, it's clear that it's 3D, but you still can look at it from the orbit. ماشي يا رجاله. طيب يبقى اذا دي كل الاوامر اللي هي موجوده في هذا الليست. ايه بقى الاوامر الثانيه دي؟ these are most important that all what we spoke about so far, which is a command called extrude. What is the extrude? Extrude, if you try to translate it to literally to Arabic, it's called the bafq. Ba fa qaf. Are you familiar with that word? In the manufacturing guys, one of the manufacturing method is bafq, is to make your material in a very soft state, and then you push it hard through some form, so it will take that form. Like بالظبط الطريقه اللي احنا بنعملها البسكوت بتاع العيد. عارف في مصر كده عندنا عندنا تراديشن من ايام الدوله الفاطميه، بنعمله عجينه وبعد كده في زي المفرمه دي، and then you push your dough through this form, so it will take the shape of that form. Okay, so this is called the bafq, which is called the extrude in English. Okay, so what is the extrude guys? Let me show you the difference between actually I'm going to speak about two things, not only extrude. There is something called extrude and something called the press pull. Okay, what is the difference between these two? Very soon I will explain the difference between these two things. Okay, let me erase everything. Erase is like any erase in the two-dimensional guys, no difference. Okay, enter. Now I'm gonna draw any shape. using combination of ايه group of lines. طبعا unfortunately طبعا اخر حاجه هنا كانت معمول كانه ايه center line، بس ما فيش مشكله، نقدر نغيره كل ده ونخلوه ايه properties and you choose this one and make it ايه by layer which is ايه solid line. طيب okay guys, now let's see what is the difference between mainly guys the press pull and the extrude. They can mutually used، يعني اقدر استخدم ده exchangeably used. I can use this one مكان ده and I can use that one مكان ده. You got it? Okay. How can I do this? Let's try what will happen if I use extrude. My intention guys is, let's assume that this is the cross section of my base and then I'm gonna raise it up to be filled in. يعني كل اللي جوه ده مش هيبقى فراغ، هيبقى عباره عن ايه material. تمام كده؟ How can I do this business? You can simply go and say extrude, okay, and then select object. If you are trying to select, usually guys we pick up any point inside, but it did not work because if I get inside and it works, this color should change to a blue color as we used to do before, right? Okay, so let's try the other way. I'm gonna select the borders of that shape. Okay, I'm gonna select the borders of that shape, and then right click, enter, and then start making extrude. Unfortunately, I failed to make the extrude. Why? Because it does not make extrude for the area. It makes extrude for what? For the edges. And this was not my intention. My intention is to make extrude for what? For the area. Okay. So if the extrude does not work, guys, then you have to go to the press pull and see if it will work or not. Okay. Click on press pull. And then when the program asks you to select the object, please don't pick up the edges. Just pick up any point inside. And here you go, guys. Once I get inside, did you notice the changes? It becomes blue. Okay. This means that you are able to make extrude not for the edges. You make extrude for what? For the whole area in between. You get it? So you come to this one. Here you go, guys. And I can easily move up and down. واحد هيقول لي طب وايه فايده الكلام ده؟ هفترض يا جماعه let's assume ان انا I give you any object and that object it's like a base and that base has like a half circle from one side and half circle from the other side. Bassam, are you following me? The mic is working? Okay, because I see you sleeping, man. Okay, so let's assume guys that our base is like this. It's like a regular base and it has two half circles from the ends and it have some details inside like hole here and hole there. How can I do that business? Very simple. I can show you what I'm intending to do, guys. Let's say that this is my object. مش شرط كمان انها تكون على شكل مستطيل، ممكن تكون اي حاجه انا عايزها. تمام. Not only this, I'm gonna draw some circles or some polygons inside. Let's try this. Let's start with circle. Okay, هفترض ان في circle هنا and I'm gonna assume that there is a polygon. Choose this polygon as like مثلا اي حاجه 7 sides مثلا، وهفترض ده الايه inscribed. It's okay. Enter an option. Okay. circumscribed. It doesn't matter. خلاص كده يا جماعه. بعد كده اجي اعمل ايه بقى؟ هروح جاي رايح للبريس بول واختار نقطه فين؟ هنا. بص بقى ايه اللي حصل؟ in a blink of eye you're able to create the object in just 2 or 3 steps. The first step is just to draw the 2-dimensional projection of that object and then you make press pull for your object. Clear guys or not clear? خلاص. طيب sometimes we do the reverse. يعني we start by making that box and then we come to the top of that box and start drawing our objects like this. Okay, let's polygon 7. It's okay. And then I decided to draw that polygon here inscribe, circumscribe. That's fine. And then let's assume guys that this is the first object to be drawn. Unfortunately, I was not able to see my object. It is there. How can I say it's there while you cannot see it? Okay, simply guys, you can go and choose another You see guys, this is the way you look at your object. You can look at it as 2-dimensional frame. You can see everything as a 2-dimensional frame. You can see it as conceptual, which is that shape. You can see it as hidden. So all of these options are there. Sometimes it's better to switch from where we can get this one, guys, from properties layers. Okay, so why I'm switching between this and that? There are more than reason. The first reason, sometimes one of them is very good for the print out. يعني لما تيجي تعمل plotting or print out, it's better to choose this one for example اللي هو shade of ايه؟ shade of gray. بيبين لك كل التفاصيل وبيبين لك الرسمه ايه كامله. لكن if you draw two dimensional frame وتيجي تعمل لها print out هيبينها كانها الايزومتريك بتاع الام اي 211. Remember guys, in ME 211 you did not draw solid model. What you did is just wire frame of the 3D object. Clear? Anyway, so I am gonna get back to this one, and again I'm gonna draw another shape. Let's make our life simple for now. I'm gonna draw a circle, guys. Okay? Okay? See the circle, specify radius of circle or diameter. Why it's not showing up, although okay, I think. Okay, let's try on the other shape. Let's assume that I draw a circle here. I see. There is a problem. I used to forget to put the radius of the circle. Okay, let's do it again here. And then let's put the radius as 0.5. Here you go. اهي الدايره يا جماعه فعلا اترسمت اهي، شايفينها بس ايه صغيره خالص. طيب what is the reason guys for drawing that circle? I told you there are two ways to draw a shape like this, either by drawing two dimensional and make principle for everything, or you just draw the solid base without any holes, and then you come to the top of that base and you start drawing your circles, your polygon, your whatever. Okay, so let's try another circle. I'm sorry because this one looks very small. Undo. Okay, you still can use pan and zoom. Everything you used in the AutoCAD, in the two-dimensional AutoCAD, is still applicable here, guys. Again, I'm gonna draw that polygon starting okay 7, and then let's do up there circumscribed, right click, enter, and then I always forget to put the حول ولا قوة إلا بالله because I'm in rush. Okay, again 7 is okay. Center of polygon, here you go, and then circumscribed, yes, enter, and then I'm gonna put the radius. Let's see that the radius here guys is 3.5. here you go. خلاص. طب انا رسمت رسمت الشكل ده فوق. طب ايه الغرض من رسم الشكل اساسا يا جماعه؟ It's exactly, imagine that you are a manufacturer and you have that sheet of metal, and then you decide to make a hole with that shape. Usually you go and you locate the hole، صح؟ بترسمه بقلم رصاص بقلم ماركر، وبعد كده بتبدا تدخل الدريل بتاعك عشان to make the hole, right? Am I right or wrong? Okay, so this is exactly what we exactly doing. This is my whole sheet without touching, and then I decided to draw the frame of the opening, and then finally you have to do you have to make the opening. How can I make the opening? The only way guys to make the opening is not to use extrude. No, you have to use press pull. Okay, you go and make press pull, and then when you click you have to click inside, not on the border. I click on this one, and here you go guys. If you are moving all the way down, let me move this one a little bit up so you can see what is going on while I'm moving. See guys, if you are moving up, you are not drawing a hole. Sorry, you are not making a hole, you are building another thing on the top of that surface. Okay, but if you are moving down guys, you are making a hole. How did I know that this is a hole? You can change this one to another shape. Is it clear that this is a hole? Even if it's not clear, still here you go, the rotation, just to confirm that ولكن ليطمئن قلبي. خلاص that's it. مفيش بقى اي دليل على كده ان ده مش هول. تمام كده؟ طيب let's try another thing guys. If you remember guys, all these shapes I created line by line. يعني جميع الاشكال اللي انا رسمتها كنت رسمتها خط بخط. طيب افرض ان انا let's assume that I draw a rectangle. Okay, before I do this guys, let me get rid of that hidden line. Show menu bar, and then as usual go to format, and then line type, and then I'm gonna upload by layer by default and say okay. So from now on everything will be drawn as okay guys, let's assume that I draw that that rectangle. خلاص, any rectangle. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Anyway, so this is our rectangle guys. تمام كده. Now let's see what will happen Usually, when you draw that rectangle as line by line or 4 separate lines, we're not able to make a solid model. Remember؟ يعني خلينا ارسم نفس الريكتانجل اهو تاني يا جماعه، او ما يشابه الريكتانجل، بس برسمه خط خط بخط. فاكرين لما جينا، do you remember guys when I used extrude I was not able to choose the area in between, and I was able only to draw to select the edges, and then you ended up by after selecting the edges that whatever will be created it will be empty box, not something solid. Okay, what if I draw the same shape but not using line by line or separate lines, using one complete rectangle? Because when I decide to draw that object, I click on rectangle. It's one command called rectangle. طب تعالى كده نشوف what will happen if I use the extrude. You go to extrude and then you click on the border, and after clicking the border you push enter. You see the difference, guys? Then if you are drawing your object as one click, one command, this means that you are able to make it a solid. But if you are drawing an object with a combination of these separate lines, this means that you will not be able to draw the object as a solid model. Clear? You got the difference, guys? Okay, I will take you back to the same two rectangles, but this time I'm gonna use press pull. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here, and now I'm gonna use press pull. Try press pull with this one. Okay, it doesn't matter if you click inside or on the border, both of them will give you solid shape. Let's try. Okay, try this one. Here you go. Although I did not click in the area, I clicked on the border, but still give me solid shape. But what if I go to that one? The only way, guys, if you are using press pull to get your object as a solid is to click inside. Okay, but if you click on the border one by one, you see guys, ما بقاش ما بقاش يعمل solid، بقى ياخد كل خط فهمنا؟ you see the difference guys between press pull and extrude. ودي كانت اهم نقطه عندي ان لازم اوضحها لك. ماشي يا رجاله؟ طيب اعتقد ان this is more than enough for this lecture. We are almost speaking for 1 hour and something, and I'm gonna draw a very simple shape guys right now, and I'm gonna show you how to tackle the problem. Tackling the problem means تخش المساله من انهي حته بحيث تخلي حياتك سهله بسيطه. يعني for example, unfortunately the people will not see that one. Okay, I can go to PowerPoint. PowerPoint PP. Okay. Where is the PowerPoint in that list? Okay, power. Okay. Let me share the new screen. Okay, I'm still sharing that screen. Okay, I need to share another screen with you guys here. Stop that one. Okay, and then share another screen, which is that screen. But Sam, can you see that one on the blackboard? Can you see the PowerPoint?
No.
Are you sure, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what about now? Can you see the slide itself?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Let me say that I'm intending to draw that shape in the AutoCAD. I'm gonna draw very simple and a very quick shape. Let's assume that I have something like this.
It is freezing.
Freezing? It does not show the drawing. I'm not caring if you'll see me while I'm drawing. I'm just caring that you'll see the whole object at the end. So I'm assuming, guys, that I'm drawing something like this. It is still freezing, Bassam?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put some numbers here. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, let's say that this is 30. This one is 50. That height is 10, or let's say 7. This is the same thickness, 7. The height from here all the way down is another 40. The thickness of the web is 5. Okay, and let's assume, guys, that we have a hole here, where that hole is located at that distance, 10 millimeter from the top and 5 millimeter from that edge, and it has a radius of 3, and we have a very similar opening on the left side like this. And let's assume that we have also a rectangular opening somewhere here. That rectangular opening has a dimension of 3 by 5, or by 5. If somebody, guys, can take a snapshot for this one with his cell phone, or okay, this is 3 by 5, and it is away from that one a distance 5, and this one, the distance from here to there is another 5. يعني ايه يا جماعه؟ لو انا بص الحته دي، الكورنر دي تحت، هتلاقي المستطيل ده ابعاده 3 في ايه؟ This is 3 and this one is 5, and the distance from here to there is 5, and the distance from here to there is 5. You got it, guys? اتفهمت الحته دي؟ طيب now I'm going to show you how to do this business without adding the dimension. Dimension is, inshallah, in the next week I'm going to show you how to add a 3 dimension to your object. But for now, we have to do the big business, which is the drawing itself. Okay, how can we think about this problem? You still cannot see the... Okay, so let me say stop sharing, keep this one. Hopefully if I save it, it will file, save as, practice problem. Okay, week 10, solid modeling. Okay, go to share application. Just be sure that this one is there. Okay. You can see it now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, guys, as I said, inshallah, I'm intending... Hmm? There is no voice? How come? I can see the voice there. Yeah. See, this indicator shows that the mic is on. Okay, how about now? Actually, you were actually disconnected somehow, because I see you that you are reconnecting to the machine, to the blackboard. No voice. Anyway, I can see that there is a voice here. Maybe it will take some time for you to log in again, but I can... Let me see. If I add you as a presenter, maybe you'll have the privilege to... Still you cannot hear me?
No.
This is so strange. Huh? So you are opening the blackboard? No, I'm asking him to check from the blackboard, man. You are opening the blackboard on the cell phone? So you can hear me now? Yeah, go ahead, please. I need to at least to help me out of this issue. Hmm? Yes, practical 105. You're 105, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. You cannot log in? How come? Set up the session. What about now? Can you log in now? No, no, I can see you. You are joining now.
Yes. There is.
Now you are joining.
There is.
The voice is there, right? Okay, good. I think you have some problem because actually Ibrahim Asiri, right? Okay. So you are able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, now guys, as I said, I'm intending to draw that shape on the in the AutoCAD. Before I start the AutoCAD, I have to think how can I tackle that problem? How can I start the problem? Somebody might tell me, here is exactly, guys, the way you might think. Somebody might tell me that it's okay. What I'm intending to do is the following. Let me use a pen. You still can hear me, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So somebody might tell me I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna start by drawing that base like this, and then make extrude for the base. Okay. And then come to this rectangle and draw the rectangle in its location, and then use press pull to make it as a whole, right? And then he will come to that edge and draw a rectangle, and take that rectangle and make it press pull. So he will end up by drawing that wall right there. I'm just showing you what the people are thinking about. This is one of the students. One of you guys might think this way. And then finally, he will make a hole here. Sorry, draw a circle here and draw another circle there. And after drawing these two circles, he will make a press pull to come up with the two holes. So far, so good. He's following a very good way. That's fine with me.
It is frozen. It is.
Freezing now?
Yeah.
What about you, Ibrahim? Still freezing?
I love that.
You logged out?
Already
Okay.
love that.
Okay.
الرسمة هذيك يعني ما.
This one is there, but this one is not there at all.
إيه.
Okay. This is a problem, guys, with this. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna repeat it again in the AutoCAD. At least now, this is the way one of you guys might think this way. He will start by drawing that shape, and then he will draw the wall, that opening, and then he will draw the wall. This is number 2. He will draw the wall as number 3, or step number 3, and then he will come to these two circles and make the hole as a step number 4, and finally he will draw the wedge. Remember, guys, he will draw the wedge and take that wedge and locate it somewhere here in the in that shape to come up with with the whole things. Do you agree, guys? That's okay. That's fine. I have no problem with this one. But my only problem with this way, guys, it's very time consuming. How come it's very time consuming? I'm gonna show you a better way, which is like this. I'm gonna rotate. See, guys, usually this is our x-axis, and this is our y-axis, and this is our z-axis. And when you start drawing, by default, your drawing will be in the xy plane. Do you agree? When you start your drawing, usually your drawing will be in the xy plane. Okay, let me do something. Maybe this will help out. I'm not gonna share the application itself. I'm gonna share the camera. Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Okay. What do you see on the camera right now? I'm sharing the camera right now. Man, how come it's not showing you? Ah, I did not start the sharing yet. Okay. Share the camera. Okay. What can you see now, guys? The clear screen? Are you sure the screen is clear?
Yeah.
Okay, this is good. Now let me erase that one. Okay. And again, I'm gonna repeat the last 5 minutes again, guys. Okay. As I said, how can I tackle this problem? There are very different ways to start the problems. As I said, maybe one of you will think this way. He will say it's okay. I'm gonna start by drawing the box which represents that base in the XY plane, and then make extrude to come up with the lower part of the base, and then come to this one and to draw a square or a rectangle, and then use press pull to create your the whole of that base. Okay, and now you move your XY Z coordinate system and put it on the top. This one will be my X, and this one will be my Y, and this will be my Z, such that I will be able to draw a rectangle. Because usually, guys, when we draw, as I said, we draw in the XY plane. Somebody might tell me, how can we move the XYZ? You did not tell us. I'm going to show you in the AutoCAD, but just let's see how the scenario will go for that guy. So he decided to go this way. He drew that one first. So this is step number one, and then he created the hole as a step number two, and then he decided to draw that rectangle on the top of that surface, and then he will make press pull to come up with the wall. Okay, and then this is step number three. And then he created, or he drew two circles, one on the right and one on the left, and he decided to use the press pull to come up with the two circular hole. These are steps number four. And then finally he will draw his wedge. Let's say that he will draw that wedge outside, and then he will use the alignment. Remember, guys, aligning. He will use the alignment to locate that wedge in that shape. And finally, after collecting everything together, he will use the union. It's okay. That's fine with me. As I said, this way is good, but it does not. This way does not reflect that he's a professional. Why? Because professionality means you have to do the same. You have to draw the same shape, but in a very short time. How can I do that? Do this one in a very short time? Let me tell you the story. I myself, if I'm thinking about this problem, I may think about it in a different way. What is a different way? I can make our XY vertical. This is our XY plane. Okay? And just draw that shape. See, this is your XY plane. And what I'm doing, I'm just drawing that side, guys, of that object. Okay? And then after drawing that part, I'm gonna make press pull or extrude to come up with the whole angle at once. You get this one, guys? You see how much I saved? I just draw that shape, step number one, and then press pull to come up with the step number two, and then I'm gonna go and locate the circle here. Okay, two circles and one rectangle. And after drawing all these three shapes, just make press pull for this one, make press pull for that one, make press pull for that one. You end up by drawing the most of the shapes in two steps, or at maximum three steps so far, right? What is left, guys, is to draw the wedge. Even the wedge, I'm gonna show you the wedge to draw it in a very easy way. How can I draw the wedge in a very easy way, guys? I'm gonna locate my XYZ in this way. This will be my X, and this will be my Y, and of course, if this is your X and this is your Y, your Z should be in that direction. What is the reason, guys, for making our X and Y here? Because I'm not intending to draw the full wedge. I will just draw that triangular side of the side of that wedge. Okay, so let's assume, guys, that I draw that side of the wedge. There you go. It's just two-dimensional triangle. Okay, and then what is the final step? Exactly. So I'm gonna make another brace pull so I can make the wedge this way. يبقى اذا يا جماعه مش شرط ان كل حاجه عشان اتعلمتها اعملها كده، لا ده انا ممكن افكر في الويدج بطريقه ثانيه. Just draw the side of the wedge and make brace pull with the thickness or the depth of that web. Clear guys or not clear? So if you are, I'm asking you guys to follow up the two ways. Go with that way and please put your stopwatch here, and go with that way and put another stopwatch and calculate the time and make comparison. Believe me, at least you are saving 1/3 of the total time that you spend there in the first way. خلاص؟ طيب how can I come up with that level؟ كله بالخبرة. تمام؟ طيب somebody else might tell me no I don't like this, I like your way, I'm gonna do it another way. What is the other way? Okay, he will draw a full box like this. Okay, and then he will come to that full box and draw two circles here. Okay, and he will draw a rectangle there. Okay, now he will make a through hole, so this means that it will go all the way down, and he will make through hole for the two circles. Okay, now what he's intending to do after doing that business, again guys, assuming that I already created the two holes, the rectangular hole and the circular holes, and still we ended up with that shape, right? Do you agree? Okay, and now what I'm intending to do is the following. I'm gonna come to this area, that rectangle, guys, because what I'm drawing full everything. I'm drawing all this one as one box. So I'm gonna come to that rectangle. You see these guys, that rectangle, and draw it here. So what is next, guys? If I am drawing that rectangle, what is the reason for drawing that rectangle? Just make brace pull. So you'll end up that you created everything in just one shot. The only thing left is the wedge itself. واضح يا جماعه ولا مش واضح؟ يبقى as I told you, there are many different a lot of different ways to tackle that problem. What is the best one? The one which saves my money and my time. Okay, now I will take you back to the AutoCAD and see how the AutoCAD will work. Okay, stop sharing that one, and I'm gonna share the screen. Can you see the screen, guys? Can you see the AutoCAD? Now, no. Okay. So let me erase everything before I start my new business. Alhamdulillah, guys, that this class is the recording is where? It's working?
Yes.
Okay. So let me erase everything, guys, and show you before. This is the end of my explanation for today. Okay. This is the fruit of my class. Show you a full example. Select object. I'm gonna say all, and now I'm ready for to go home and then start my business. As I told you guys, my intention is to let my XY plane to be that vertical plane. How can I do this? There are different ways. One of them, guys, is to go and look at this one. You can make rotation around the x-axis. You can make rotation around y-axis. You can make rotation around the axis. Now tell me, out of your engineering sense, if I'm intending to bring that one to be in the location of z, so what should I do? Should I rotate around y-axis, or rotate around x-axis, or rotate around z-axis? Y-axis. The second question, I'm intending to make my x as a vertical, going upwards. So if I are rotating around y-axis, what will be the rotation angle? It will be 90 or negative 90? Negative 90. Are you sure? Exactly. No, your answer was right. Negative. Why negative, guys? Imagine. Okay. See, guys, imagine that you are facing your y-axis like this. Okay? Yeah, you said 90 or negative 90? What did you say? I forgot. Negative 90. Let's see if he's right or wrong, guys. Okay. Now, guys, imagine that you are standing at that location, facing your coordinate system. If I need to bring my x-axis to be vertical, this means that imagine that you are in that location, guys. To bring that axis in that location, this means that you are looking at the coordinates while it's moving in the clockwise, right? This means that it has to rotate around y in the negative by adding a negative 90. Clear? Maybe I can make it positive. That's fine with me. But in this case, if you're intending to make it positive, imagine, guys, that this is my y-axis coming to my side, and this is my x-axis. Imagine that this is your x-axis. So in that case, I have to, if you rotate anti-clockwise, you have to rotate how much? 270. Clear, guys, or not clear? So let's try this way. I'm gonna make rotation around y-axis by just clicking on that. Oh, by the way, how can I reach that one? By just there is a panel here called the coordinate, guys. Okay, so you go to coordinate, and then you select that one, and then you rotate around the y-axis. Here you go. بص كده يا جماعه. Once ان انا ايه click on the y, he fixed the y, and then these x and z are free to rotate with with your mouse. So I'm intending to put how much here, guys? As we said, negative 90, or I can make just my life easy and just put positive number 270. Clear? Okay. Now, what is the reason, guys, for me? هتلاحظ بقى ان الخطوط بعد ما كانت horizontal, your grading after it was like this, it becomes vertical. You see this guy? Okay. Now I'm intending to draw that outer shape. I will take you back to the drawing. This side is how much? 50 by 40, right? And the thickness is 7. Okay. So I'm intending to make that 50 along the x-axis and 40 along the y. Sorry. This, remember, guys, we said our x becomes vertical. صح? So our 50 will be along the y-axis, while our 50 will be along the x-axis. You see it? Okay. So now you can see the AutoCAD. Okay. So I'm gonna start by drawing just a simple line. When the program asks me for the to specify the first point, I'm gonna locate 0 and 0. اوكي. لاحظ بقى الخط هيبدا يترسم في انه اتجاه يا جماعه. بص كده، انت بتتحرك في انه اتجاه؟ في اتجاه الاكس واي اهو، صح كده؟ Now the next point is what? I'm intending to move along. You are intending to move along which one, guys? You see, remember I said our 40 will be along the x-axis and our 50 will be along the y-axis. صح كده؟ So now I'm gonna move along the x-axis a 40. So how can I write it down? I'm gonna write down 40, right? Comma, the y will be 0 and the z will be 0. Here you go. يبقى انا كده رسمت خط طوله 40. طبعا عشان انا ما عملتش ليميت في الاول فالدنيا عندي مش خليه بس يا جماعه، في حاجه لازم اعملها عشان بس الغلاسه بتاعت See, there is a line there, but I'm not able to see it because it's the line type itself is Okay, format, line type. Okay, let's say and make it current. Okay, let's do something just to get rid of that headache. Delete. I don't want this one to be in the list. How can I do it? Okay, let's say by layer and then current. Okay, let me draw any random shape. Yes, here you go. It works. Or still there, guys. Yeah, it works. Is that hidden line? No. Anyway, so I draw the first line. Let me remember we use match property. Match. What is it? This one. Take that one. There you go. Anyway, this is a visible line, guys. Yes, it's a visible. And as I said, I draw the first one from Let me go home. Okay, here you go. This is the line that I draw at the beginning. You see it, guys? Okay. Now, I will continue. Draw another line. starting from that location, which is 0, 0, 0. Okay, then how far I should go. But I'm intending, guys, not to move along the y-axis. I'm intending to move along the opposite of the y-axis. You get it? So when you put the next location, it should be how much is the x-axis, because you put them in that arrangement, x, y, z, right? If I'm intending to move along that direction, this means my x value is what, guys? Exactly 0, and then my y is negative 50, right? And my z is a 0. Here you go. Got it, guys? Now I'm intending to move up. How far I should go in that direction? Again, think about it this way, x, y, z. Okay, or I can activate what, guys? Remember ortho mode? So from now on, all the lines that will be drawn along x-axis and along the y-axis, also and along the z-axis. Okay, how can I enforce my mouse to move along the z-axis? Just to put make it up there. Just put your mouse up there and then put the number. But I need to activate what in this case? If I'm intending to put the length, I need to activate what? The dynamic option, F12. Remember? So you go to F12, and then it's time to put the number as again, guys. Let's say this line, starting from that one as object snap. Here you go. The dynamic option is there. How far I should go up there, guys? يلا رجاله. How far I should go up there? انا برسم الشكل اللي على حرف ال. التخانه كانت كام بتاعت البيز؟ 7. Here you go. 7. Then how far I should go move in that direction? Remember that the total length is 50. And the thickness down of the wall is another 7. So if you subtract 7 out of 50, how far I should go in this direction? 43. Yes, sir. 43. And then I'm intending to move up there. How far I should move up there, guys? Again, the total height was 40, right? If you take 7 out of 40, then you'll end up with 33. And then finally, you pick up the last point by just this one. Clear, guys? Somebody might tell me, but this line is not a straight line. No, believe me, it's a straight line, but the only problem that the view itself need to be rotated a little bit. And if you rotate this one, here you go, you see? You see, guys? Okay. Now, what is the next step, guys? As I told you, the next step is to go and use extrude or press pull. Which one is better for that situation? Is it the extrude or the press pull? Exactly, the press pull. Because why the press pull? Because I created that shape from separate lines. And then you pick up any points inside, and then you see how beautiful is that step. You did almost 3 or 4 steps in one step. How deep I should go in that direction, guys? I should tell you the thickness. What was the thickness? 30. Yes, sir. 30. Okay. Now it's time to locate the to draw 2 circles on that surface and that surface. Okay. Before I do this business, guys, there is a very important command that we have to learn. This command is like this. It's called extract edges. Remember the name, extract edges. And this command could be there in the list of editing. extract edges. extract edges دي بالظبط يا جماعه زي عارف كده التعبان لما كل فتره بيغير الجلد بتاعه. Same story. I'm gonna come to any object and just extract the edges of that object by just one click on that command. So again, you go to edit, you click on that box, you see that empty box, guys, can you see it? And then you say select objects and then enter. How did I know that I extract the edges? Extract means تاخد الحاجه تصفيها. تمام. How can I know that I extract the edges? You can just by moving your object. Let's say move. Okay, take that one and then move it somewhere else. Here you go, guys. ادي الشكل الاساسي وادي الادجز بتاعته اللي انت استخرجتها. واضح؟ Okay. Now I need the edges to be there in their location. Why, guys? What is the main reason for having these extract edges? To help me out to locate the centers of the circles. Remember, مش احنا قلنا السنتر بيبعد 5 من فوق و10 من. هعمل الكلام ده ازاي؟ الا من خلال الامر بتاع offset. تمام؟ But before you do that offset business, you have to activate that. يعني for example, the circles are located on that wall. صح كده؟ Before I do this business, I have to activate this one. What do I mean by activate? Means I have to make that surface my new XY plane. My new XY plane. How can I do this business? there is a new command guys called user coordinate system. انا عارف ان انا طولت عليكم في الشرح، بس لما تراجع الفيديو مره ثانيه الحمد لله هو متسجل، الامور هتثبت معاك. خلاص. user coordinate system, it's called UCS. U for the word user, C for the word coordinate, S for the word system. Okay. User coordinate system, what does it mean guys? It means that you are telling the program to change your XYZ location and directions. This is the meaning of user coordinate system. Okay. Or it means that you are creating a coordinate system based on your desire. You got it? Okay. Now the very first question he's asking you to specify the origin. Okay guys, I'm gonna pick up this one as my origin. انا قررت ان احط الاوريجن هنا عند الكورنر ده. شايف the beauty of that one? You can move it wherever you like. I can put my origin where? I can put it the midway in that one. I can put it in the in the center of the surface. Wherever you like, you can put your object. Is it clear guys? Okay. Now I'm gonna put this one as here or there. It doesn't matter. Or I can put it up there. It doesn't matter. But I'm gonna put it here. Now look at the second question. What is the program is telling you to do? Pick up a point on the x axis. يعني لو انت عملت اي نقطه هنا هتلاحظ الاكس بيروح معاها، صح؟ So I prefer to have my x like this. So I'm going to pick up that corner and my y like this. And here is the end of the story. How can I guarantee that this my new xy plane? Very simple. If you look at the orbit, بص يا جماعه شايفين؟ Can you see what we are doing? So this is your new xy plane. Okay, what is the benefit guys from doing this business? The benefit is the following. If you are intending to make offset, يعني if I need, remember the extract edges, I can easily now make offset for that one along that direction and make offset for this one along this direction. If we get back to our PowerPoint guys, you see in the PowerPoint I told you that the center is 5 units from that vertical edge and 10 units from the horizontal edge. Remember this one guys? Okay. Now I will take you back to the AutoCAD. Can you see the AutoCAD, Bassem? Okay, Bassem. Okay. Now, see guys, I have the freedom to do whatever I like. Okay. I'm gonna rotate this one a little bit. So now I'm gonna say offset. Offset where it should be, guys. Offset. It should be in the modify list. خلاص? There is edit which is dealing with 3D, and there is a modify list which is dealing with 2D. Which one out of this modify list? Here you go. Offset. Okay. And then he's asking you to put the offset distance. I'm gonna move that vertical line a distance in this direction. How far I should go, guys, in this direction? Remember? No. This one. Let's go back to this one. Here you go, guys. This is 5, and this is 10, right? Okay. So now I'm gonna put take this one 5, and then pick up that that edge. See, guys, this I have to move this one. Here you go. هتلاحظ ان الخط فعلا اترسم. See, this is the beauty of extract edges. يبقى انت لو كان عندك edge حقيقي وما عملتش extract هتعمل extract، ده هو حاجه سوليد ماسكه فيها. لكن لما ارسم خطوط على الحروف اقدر اخد الخط واحركه فوق وتحت. واضح؟ فاهمين انا بقول يا جماعه ولا مش فاهمين؟ Okay. Now it's time to go and make another offset. I can also, guys, take that one and move it to the right. No problem. Still, let's do this business again. Take that edge, that line, and move it along that line. Okay, now it's time to make another offset, but this time will be how much? 10. Okay, and then take the top edge and move down there. Here you go. What did we do now, guys? We located the centers of the two circles. Okay, so now it's time to draw the two circles. How can I draw the circles? Just regular drawing. Out of that list, you go to center. Okay, you pick up the intersection. You have to activate the two-dimensional object snap. معايا رسام? Okay. The radius. The radius is how much? 5. 5. اوكي. لا انا ما كنتش عامله 5 على فكره، لان انا كنت واخد بالي ان الحته دي لو 5 هيبقى الراديوس هو كام؟ it is 3 not 5. Okay, now I can change it just by simple making go to properties, and from the properties you change the R to 3. Where is R, guys? This one. Okay, here you go. Now I can make another circle, or I can get benefit بقى من كل حاجه اتعلمناها قبل كده. I'm gonna make copy for that object circle. when the program asks me right click عشان اطلع بره the source location and this is the sync location. cancel. خلاص كده عملنا الدايرتين. طيب في بقى حاجه مهمه لازم تعملها، ايه هي؟ before you think about making press pull you have to remove these lines. خلاص الجوب بتاعت اللاينز دي انتهت، تمام؟ والا لو ما عملتش الكلام ده هيحصل ايه؟ تعالى كده نجرب. هعمل بريس بول، تيجي تعمل بريس بول تكتشف انك بتعمل بريس بول لايه؟ لربع الدايره مش للدايره كامله. بصوا يا جماعه شايفين ايه اللي حصل؟ did you see what happened؟ اوكي so to get out of this problem بدل ما تقول لي طب ما خلاص انا هعمل ربع ربع، احنا اصلا our main business is how to save every single second، صح؟ so what we need to do is before you think about your extrude, maybe if I use extrude it will work. Let's see. In that extrude I'm gonna select the circle itself, okay, and then after selecting the circle select object extrude. I already okay, let me choose this one also for the circle, and then right click, and then okay, what happened guys for the extrude? Extrude does not help me out to create a circle. It creates another cylindrical shape inside mixed up with the wall. But is there any way to create a circle? I'm insisting guys to draw to make holes using extrude. No problem. Once you created these two cylinders guys, there is a new option called what? Subtract. اطرح. تمام? So you go to for subtract. When the program asks you for the object, you have to select the main object first and then right click and be ready to select the objects that will be subtracted. Here you go. يبقى في كذا طريقه اقدر اعمل بيها الهول. ايذر اعمل بريس بول مباشره ودي اللي افضلها طبعا، او you create your own cylinders and subtract both of them from the from the whole object. clear guys؟ so هتلاحظ بقى ان لما جينا استخدمنا السبتراكت ما اثرتش بقى معايا ولا ربع ولا غيره، لا هو اتعامل مع الدايره كلها as one as one single piece. clear guys؟ now what is next guys is to move down there and draw our rectangle. Remember? okay, again before I do this what should we do? Again UCS user coordinate system, and then I'm gonna locate this corner here. This will be my x-axis and this will be my y-axis. That opposite corner will be my y-axis. See guys, I'm not able to catch this one, so I can go for the mid of the edge, or I can check what is the problem here. Everything is there, so what is the problem? Why I'm not able to catch this one? Okay, okay, see guys, I am doing my best. I'm not able to catch that one. What is the reason? I don't know what is the reason. Maybe if I activated the vertex here, only the vertex, and see what will happen. Let's deactivate this one and see if the vertex will work. Even the vertex does not work, so we are in a big trouble. No, we are not in a big trouble. We can find some other way to locate XY on that surface. How can I do this? Again guys, you go to user coordinate system as usual, and instead of selecting one by one, I mean selecting the origin, then point on x-axis and point on y-axis, you can simply click on face. If you click on that face, here you go guys, in just one click you are able to to select your the new active place. You got my point? Okay, you can select the midpoint of that surface, no problem. You can select the midpoint of that as long as, be careful guys before you make your click, because see if I come to the border هتلاحظ ان انا ممكن اعمل اكتيفيشن لمستوى خطا او فيس خطا معايا. so be careful انك before you make your final decision to to see that the one that you are intending to draw on is the active one. Clear guys? So I'm gonna come closer to that edge and then I'll be happy to put my my surface like this. 3D solid. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, user coordinate system, pick up any random point. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, that's it. Or I can say face, as I said guys, again repeats, user coordinate system. You click on face first and then you locate it wherever you like. See guys, he's asking you, do you accept that location? ولا عايز تعمل اكس فليب يعني تغير الاماكن بتاعت الاكس والواي؟ لا خلاص ام هابي وذ ذيس ايه، جاست ايه، بص انا عشان دوست غلط فايه، فراح مغير لي خلى الزي تحت. خلاص طيب هقول له نيكست. دي الاوبشنز كلها تمام لغايه ما ايه استقر على حاجه واقول له اي اكسبتد. معايا؟ اوكي what is next guys, what is the reason for bringing this one to the surface? what is the reason guys for bringing this one to the surface؟ ما احنا لسه قايلين من شويه عشان ارسم البوكس صح؟ طب تعالى كده انا عايز حد يركز معايا. please tell me guys because I need to write down these numbers. هعمل اوفست هنا مسافه كام؟ 5 وهنا مسافه كام؟ طب تعالى لو انا عايز اعمل ايه اوفست تاني هعمل كمان 5 زائد 3 يبقى 8. يبقى انا عندي خطين بدايه ونهايه الريكتانجل صح؟ وهنا 5 plus another 5. معايا ولا مش معايا؟ This is exactly what we are intending to do. So I'm gonna go to this one. I'm gonna say offset again. First distance is 5. I'm gonna take this one, that edge, and move in that direction. Uh-oh. Escape. Okay, again, offset. And then 5 is okay. And then take that edge and move in this okay, I know the reason why it's going to the opposite side because there is I have to deactivate that one. Okay, and then again offset. 5 is fine. Take that one, move it in that direction, and then take that one and move it in that direction. And again, guys, repeat offset. How far I should, if I take that line, how far I should go in this direction, guys? No. See, يا جماعه ده انا ذاكرتي ضعيفه، انتوا ما شاء الله يعني شباب يعني. احنا رسمنا الخط ده صح؟ I need to make another offset for that line to draw the top one. So I have to move 10, right? And if I'm moving the same line here to move to draw the left one, how far I should 8. صح كده؟ طيب. Now we go back to this one and then I'm gonna say 10. And then take this one, of course the line, and then move right there and then repeat offset. The distance here will be 8, not 10. And then take that line, the line itself, and move to the left. Now, what is left, guys? Before I do my business, I can make trim, right? Or I can easily go and make a press pull and just select that box. This is my business. And then finally, later remove everything. Clear, guys, or not clear? Okay. Now, let me show you what is happening so far. Here you go. Very beautiful shape in a very neat way and a very fast way. Now, what is next, guys? Remember, I'm going to locate the wedge. I can draw the wedge outside, and then which is taking a lot of time. So what is the best way? The best way is to draw the first side of the wedge here, and the second side of the wedge there, which means, guys, that I need to bring my X, Y to be in this location. You got it? Before I do this, okay, let's remove all these lines, guys. No need for all these lines. طبعا انا عشان لسه ما طلعتش من الكوماند الاولاني فبيعمل بريس بول. طبعا everything, it's better to remove everything from that here you go. Remove this one. Remove that one. Okay. See, guys, I did mistake, so I removed everything. My intention is just to remove the line, not the 3D box. Okay, here you go. Now, guys, let me take you back to the PowerPoint. How much is that thickness? 5, right? Okay. Now, how much is that width? 30. You see that width is 30. So the distance from here, from this corner until I reach this line, how much is that distance, guys? Please tell me. You divide 30 by 2, you end up by having a 15 to the midpoint, right? And then you take 2.5 out of the 15, then you end up that this distance is how much, guys? Allah ينور عليك, 12.5. And this is the reason that I need that number to make it as offset distance. So I'm still in that surface. So I'm gonna say offset. I'm sorry, guys, I know that it's a very long explanation, but later you can enjoy it at home. Which line? This one. How far I should go? I need to move in that direction. Okay, guys? Now, look at what I'm gonna do. Maybe I was able to draw on that surface or make offset for that one without moving our XYZ coordinate system. Let's try it. I can do the following, guys. I can say move. Move what, guys? Move that line, that edge, right click from where? I have to activate the object snaps from that end to this end, to this intersection. Here you go. يبقى بعض الاحيان مش لازم ارسم انقل اليوزر كوردينيت سيستم بتاعي از لونج از ان انا عارف ان انا موفينج، فهو بيموف في نفس البلين اللي اترسم فيه. طيب المفروض اعمل ايه بعد كده يا جماعه؟ What is the next step after drawing these two lines? Just connect the two ends together. صح؟ So I'm gonna use برضه ديت مش مطلوب منك انك ترسم user coordinate system. لانك you are enforcing the program to draw from certain point to another certain point. You got it? So you draw a line from that intersection there all the way until you reach that intersection. Here you go. And that's it. How did I guarantee that this rectangle, the triangle, it was drawn the way I like? Here you go, guys. You see? Now the very last step before I say I claim that I finalize everything is to go and make press pull. But be careful, guys. When you make the press pull, you will face a problem here. Because when I make the press pull for the first time, it's like as if I was selecting other areas. Okay, now I'm gonna make press pull for this for that shape. You see, guys, it does not work. Why it does not work? I'm not able to see this one does not change to the blue color. صح؟ طيب ايه الحل هنا؟ Even if you select the lines, it will make an empty. See, if you select this one, see, it's just dealing with the line itself, not with the area. What should we do, guys, in that case? What? Extrude? No, extrude will not work. Remember, extrude does not deal with the Yes. You create? No. How can we solve this problem? No. Why you are done with the? See, guys, I told you the reason for drawing that triangle is to make press pull, so I can draw the wedge using the press pull. Any idea, guys? How can I get out of that problem? Maybe the reason is because our XYZ is in another direction. So let's try to move our XY to become this is our X and this is our Y. Let's see, guys. Okay. So again, escape, user coordinate system. Okay. Now take this one as your origin, and take this one as your X direction, and take that one as YA direction, and see, inshallah, if it will work or not. Okay. Hopefully, inshallah, it will work. خلاص. If it does not work, I'm gonna show you the very last solution and the guaranteed solution, inshallah. But hopefully this one will help me out. Now I'm gonna go for no, of course, extrude. Why no extrude? Because this triangle was drawn with 3 separate lines. Remember this all the time, guys. So better to go for press pull, and then alhamdulillah it works. يبقى اذا يا جماعه انا كنت عارف ان هي مش هتشتغل في الاول، وكنت عايز حد فيكم يفكر ايه الحل. الحل ان احنا you have to prepare your way your XY to become aligned with the edges of the triangle. خلاص. How far I should go in this direction, guys? Here you go. And then finally, okay, I need to orbit, not bend. The very last thing to do is to bring everything to the origin. هتلاحظ ان اخر يوزر كوردينيت سيستم كان هنا. لا انا عايز ارجع بقى كل حاجه لاصلها. قال لك عشان ترجع كل حاجه لاصلها escape you have to do the following guys. You have to go and instead of saying user coordinate system we'll use something WCS which is called world coordinate system دوت يا جماعه. تمام. world coordinate system here you go. هتلاحظ رجع لك كل حاجه لاصلها. فاكرين يا جماعه مش كانت الاكس كده والواي كده والزي كده في الاول؟ ده الورد بقى يا سيدي coordinate system. Not only this I have to unify everything, right? So I have to go to union, and then when the program asks me for the objects, just make one whole circle around everything, and then your life is easy. واحد هيقول لي طب ما الايدجز السيبريشن موجوده لسه. هقول لك لان احنا كنا عاملين extract edges صح؟ Now it's time to go and say move that object from its where to any other location, and then finally take everything and remove it, and then bring it back, move again the object. This time I'm gonna move this corner to to the location 0 0 0. So simply write down 0 comma okay, I'm sorry, escape guys, again move the object from that source all the way to that sink, second point 0 comma 0. here you go. ماشي يا رجاله؟ مش عاجبني الشكل عايز ادوره 90 درجه ولا تزعل يا سيدي. روتيت اوكي، تيك ذا اوبجكت، تيك ذا بيز بوينت، عايز ادوره 90 درجه انتي كلوك وايز او في الكلوك وايز على حسب بقى مين الفرونت فيو بتاعك اللي انت بترغب ان يكون الفرونت فيو. هير يو جو. ماشي يا رجاله؟ ادي يا سيدي الاوربت وادي الشكل بكل بساطه. وممكن واحد تاني بقى يقول لي لا ده انا هعمل عندي اختراع تاني، هعمل طريقه تانيه. اتس اب تو يو. انا ما ادعيش ان انا قلت لك كل حاجه في الدنيا. just put your step on the right track. That's it. دي مهمتي. خلاص. later ان شاء الله within few weeks you can be better than millions like me. خلاص. اتفقنا يا رجاله؟ اوكي I'm gonna end up the session here. مفيش وقت انك تعمل براكتس، بس انا طالب منك حاجه بعد اذنك. by the end of the day I'm gonna upload this one to the YouTube. خلاص. اللي عايزك انك تقعد تسمعه تاني النهارده مش بكره بعد اذنك. وفي اخر الكلاس ما تسمعش الجزء الاخير بتاع ازاي انا رسمت الشكل ده. عايزك انت تروح تعمله بنفسك. واضح ولا مش واضح يا جماعه؟ يعني التدريب الوحيد اللي تقدر تعمله انك طيب عايز اتدرب اكتر مفيش مشكله. انا قلت لك هات الشيت نمبر 3 معاك فاكر؟ وده اللي احنا هنعمله ان شاء الله الاسبوع الجاي. ماشي يا رجاله؟ الاسبوع الجاي هيبقى عشان بس نبقى عارفين ايه اللي فاضل من عمر هذا الكورس. هيبقى فاضل لنا كده الاسبوع ال 11 وال 12 وال 13 وال 14 فقط. يوجوالي امتحاننا بيبقى في الاسبوع ال 15 اللي هو 15. هيوافق قبل اجازه رمضان ولا؟ اكيد هيوافق قبل. احنا لسه في احنا كام شعبان النهارده؟ باقي 3 اسابيع على رمضان. طب زي الفل. احنا هنكون خلصنا كل حاجه قبل رمضان، يعني قبل الاجازه اللي هتاخدوها في رمضان. الخلاصه احنا كده ما فضلناش غير درس واحد نظري. جميل. وممكن نرجع للدرس بتاع في درس اسمه الاسمبلي. مش هيفرق كتير عن اللي احنا عملناه. هرسم برضه حاجات 3 دي بس هستخدم الامر بتاع الالاينمنت كتير. هعلمك بس ازاي تعمل الاينمنت ده بده بحيث ان يبقى في المكان الصحيح بتاعه. معايا؟ ذاتس ات. لكن هو الشرح هو نفس الشرح ده. فبراكتيكال سبيكينج احنا فاضل لنا درس واحد نظري. اونلي وان خلينا اوقف الريكوردنج عشان ما تبقاش البتاع طويله.